Hello out there. My name's David Horton, and I'm proud to be one of the pastors at St. Luke's Methodist here in Houston. Thanks for joining me for these little Monday video devotionals. I started a 5-week series, I guess you could call it, last week, looking at 5 different skills we can be working on during the pandemic. A skill set is really what a life of discipleship is all about. Being a disciple of Jesus is about being a student, being a lifelong learner who sits at the feet of a teacher, a rabbi, and learns, well, a set of skills. It's kind of like going to math class. The math teacher doesn't just teach you what to believe about math. Really, the math teacher's there to tell you, well, here's what it is you actually do. So what is it that we are supposed to be doing and practicing as Christians in this time? Well, those are skills. So I've been lifting up 5 different skills that we can be working on in the outbreak, and they're from Colossians chapter 3, verse 12. I usually read these. I read this verse in weddings, and I think the skill set translates pretty well from marriage to, well, following Jesus. It says, "As God's chosen ones, holy and beloved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, meekness, and patience." I'm trying to memorize this verse. This is one of those verses that it's just really good to make it a part of you. Last week we talked about patience, the skill of patience, and today we're talking about the skill of meekness. Meekness. Jesus lifts up meekness as a trait, as a skill in the Sermon on the Mount. He says, "Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth." Meekness comes from this Greek word prautes. I had to rehearse that. Prautes. It's a word that comes up in Paul's fruit of the Spirit in Galatians. The fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness. Okay, in the fruit of the Spirit, this word prautes is translated gentleness. In Colossians, it's meekness. What I want you to hear today is that this skill of meekness, it's not about being a pushover. It's not about being weak. It's really not about being nice, actually. Here's my own personal definition of what it is. I'm going to unpack this. Prautes, the skill of meekness, is about having non-anxious strength. That's the skill I think we can be working on right now. A non-anxious strength. Meekness is non-anxious. It doesn't lean in toward fear. It doesn't make decisions or reactions based on fear. It doesn't make decisions or reactions based on scarcity or what other people think about you, fear of judgment. It's okay with certainty. It doesn't react to any kind of threat with harshness or cruelty or rudeness. It's solid, it's consistent, it's reliable, it's durable, it's non-anxious. There's a poise there. And meekness is strength. There's a force there. It's not to be underestimated. There's a power to meekness. Sometimes we think meekness is about powerlessness. No, it's about powerfulness. It just looks different from the world's power. So who has this kind of strength? So this week I wrote down, I was really thinking hard about this. So I wrote down 10 kinds of people that I think have this kind of non-anxious strength, meekness. I'm just going to read these for you. It's your grandma who could walk into a room and command the room with just a look. It's your child who can walk into a room and instantly dissolve the argument between you and your spouse. It's the special needs young man who brings pure joy at life, and that pure joy can shock you and disarm you and humble you, make you rethink your life. It's the coworker who brings breakfast tacos for the entire office, just because now you feel a sense of gratitude in life you didn't feel before. It's the police officer who prays with the protester. It's the protester who prays with the police officer. It's the grocery store clerk who politely asks you, "Sir, where's your mask?" It's the old man who shows up to work in suit and tie, on time every day, polished, even though he knows he's the oldest guy there, and he's full of life and vitality. It's the boss who pauses for silence at the start of every staff meeting so the tension can leave the room. It's the man in line for free food. His back is straight and his face is proud. That's meekness. Meekness, a non-anxious strength. And I really believe it's the most powerful power there is. That's why Jesus lifts it up in the Sermon on the Mount. It's because meekness is this skill you have when you're not limited by fear. See, really, it's the abrasive people and it's the harsh people who operate out of fear. It's the people who are not meek who are the most afraid. It's the people who are the least meek, who are the most anxious, who are operating out of the most fear. But what if fear wasn't there to limit us? Well, then we would be more kind, and more gentle, and more steady, and more balanced, and more poised. And that's the power that we need to be working on right now, friends. Maybe, just maybe, the opposite of fear isn't trust. It's a non-anxious strength. May you have the gift. May you develop the skill of non-anxious strength. God bless you.